The Mankat, having a drive, and this is how it feels when you're driving a Mankat. Unfortunately, it's on the highway, but this will be exciting though. Well, this is my first live stream, and this is my cabin view. So I'll turn around now, and you see the people waving in front of you. So. Third gear, I'm shifting it to 4. And I'll skip to 5 and go straight into 6. You hear this engine. It's a 360 horsepower engine. It's a V12. It's a V8 12 liter. We're doing 50 kilometers an hour now. I'm shifting into 7. It's rather busy on the highway, and I'm on my way to the west of Belgium. So I hope this video will be a little more excited than what we're looking now. Doing 60 already. I'll just step on it. Because 80 is a good cruising control. Shifting into 8. Almost hitting 80 kilometers an hour now. Easily. Just have to step back. Because otherwise it will be just too easy. Because this baby can do 120 easily. And that's no fun. I can guarantee you that. So, all kinds of truckers going around us. Police car, but I'll just keep on my sturdy 80 kilometers an hour. That's fast enough. You can feel the engine. It's on its nicest, smoothest sound when it's hitting 87 kilometers an hour. And a lot of people ask us, is it noisy in the cabin? Well, maybe if you can hear this quite good, then here's your answer. I don't think it's noisy at all. Me and my wife sit like 2.5 meters from each other. About, well, a good 2 meters. And we have 2 kids in front of us, next to each other. And, well, we can easily understand each other. I don't have to yell, she doesn't have to shout. Not a truck driver. We get a lot of thumbs up from truck drivers all over. So I wish I could show you, but then I have to pick up my phone again, which is not really allowed here. A lot of vehicles just holding up for a moment when we drive. Hello, Sri Lanka is live as well. Hello, Sri Lanka. I'm sorry, I cannot answer your direct messages and your chats because I'm driving. I'm sure you understand. It's not so busy at the moment on the streets. I don't think I will be live all the way because I need to drive here for another 60 kilometers and that will be a bit boring. So this is near Brussels at the moment and I'm heading west. I hope to have some nice people, and maybe I'll go live again when I get off the highway. The big advantage of this car is that you have an audience automatically. If we just pass on a regular day, we have about well, at least 20 photo opportunities a day. And there's a QR code on the side of our truck, which has been photographed for over 1,200 times already. I have a counter on it. And the QR codes directs traffic to our website, and I have like a landing page in front of it. and I put a separate counter on the landing page just to see how many people are just photographing this QR code. And that counter has been over 1,200 already since I think this must be a year now or so. But we haven't been traveling for the last 5 months. We've been stationary. Well, it's actually a good idea for those who have also a very attractive vehicle. Just put the QR code on the side of your truck. Ours is just as big enough, so when you zoom out with a camera to try to photograph the whole vehicle, then it will show up. So I think it's about 20 by 20 centimeters big. So I guess this is pretty boring for everyone, and maybe I'll just continue to broadcast. I'll make this I'll make a time lapse from it later on. I'm not pretty sure if I can, but I assume I can download the YouTube video and just edit it for other purposes. Hey, I think that's a colleague. Oh no. Looks like we had a colleague behind us, but no, it's definitely some work truck vehicle. Yeah. I'll just wave if it pops up on the side. Hi girls. Hello girls. They're actually boys, but we've been on the road since the 1st of August 2019, and we started in the Netherlands, of course, and then we went down to Belgium, and there we had to do well, nowadays we call it the lockdown, but this was a pre-lockdown era. And we've been locked down in Brussels for over 2 weeks just to have our kids there registered as citizens. And the whole story is that, well, you have when you change the place where you live, then the police have to make sure that you are actually living there. So we had to be there for 2 weeks because the police needs to check up on that for 3 times, and they didn't show up, and so we did the whole process 2 times. That was our first experience with a lockdown, and that was way before the coronavirus did anyone know that anyone knew a lockdown. After Belgium, we went down to France and we followed the coastline. And we did a lot of videos and a lot of museum about World War. First of all, the World War I period, which is rather interesting in Belgium, in the West Coast. There's a lot of history there of First World War with a lot of Canadian and English military graveyards. And after that, we followed down the coastline to France, and we did a lot of museum about World War II with the landing beaches. La Coupole was one of my favorites. It's a mountain, and they built a rocket a factory for the V2 rocket in this mountain. It's incredible what they did, and it's beyond humanity, and it's yeah. It's the mixed feelings that it's really interesting that how people can do such amazing things with such amazing. Well, there are slaves working there and Jews, and it's so incredibly harsh and unbelievable that people can do that to each other. Nowadays there's a museum for rocket scientists, and because Werner von Braun is one of the main, and Robert Oppenheimer, no, not Robert Oppenheimer, Werner von Braun is one of the leading people there who did research for rocket science, and was afterwards being shipped or flew to the United States in, I guess it was Operation Paperclip, to just be one of America's scientists on the space race that has started in around the 60s. And so people tend to forget all the bad things he did, because he definitely knew of all the horrors that happened inside that mountain and everywhere else with the V2 rockets. And so, after that trip over there, we went down and we visited the beaches, Omaha Beach, Juno Beach, Gold Beach, and the name slips my mind now. Point Hock, it's called, which is one of the highest points on that beach area, where they could oversee the D-Day invasion, and also incredible what happened there during World War II. There are so unbelievably lots of people died there in a unbelievable, undescribable chaos. I still get shivers on my skin when I tell this. And so at one point we fairly got enough of the whole World War thing that we actually drove faster down France. It was already at the beginning of half October, I guess, somewhere. And the weather got bad, and so we decided not to hang around in the south of France for too long. And in the south of France we visited a few musea about dinosaurs and first humans. And then we went over the Pyrenees. Actually we drove past them because we went on the road that's so close to the beach and so close to the sea that it hardly had any mountains on it. And this whole north of Spain, so all of a sudden we ended up in the north of Spain. It was actually, well, not really, there was no sign or so. We ended up in a small village, and this village names appeared to be Spanish instead of France, or instead of French. And so that was really, really comical experience of how things changed over there. And all of a sudden we were in Spain. And the north of Spain is very famous of all the excavations of first humans. Also the south of France, where we when we hit the Cro-Magnon excavation place. So it's actually where they found the first Cro-Magnon human, which is a predecessor of the modern Homo sapiens. So it's also a nice vehicle. It's a Ram, left to me. Maybe you can see it. No, you cannot see it. Yay! It's a big Ram van. Only 2 people watching. Hi, peoples. Okay. Hey, I'm sorry. I hope my story is interesting enough, but this road is not interesting enough for you. I'll just see you around later. And when I get into more interesting roads, I'll be catching up again. Bye out.